Best part.
Yeah.
Best part. All
Video
right.
footer? Yeah, it was amazing.
Our next contender is eROI, or eROI, depending upon how friendly you are with them, I guess.
So I agree. I think kudos to Esurance. They do a great job with their email program. Very comprehensive. This is the first of a triggered email that you get after performing a quote online. So it's all about relevance. And what we found is kind of funny for those of you that are familiar with the Esurance brand. Aaron's a big part of their TV spots and actually has quite the following online, kind of a cult following, and some interesting stuff there. So we really wanted to bring her forward as an element within this email, and we did that by being relevant to the quote type. So if someone's performing a motorcycle quote, we want to kind of connect with that recipient and their passion for what they do. Because this isn't just about getting insurance, it's about getting out on the open road. So we also made some similar decisions as Mike in terms of organizing the information, and especially that which comes above the fold. So personalization, we kept it very casual, conversational, in line with the brand, and then focused on the two types of quotes, the monthly and the annual, and again consolidated the call to action to one singular and more powerful call to action. And we changed the wording a little bit. I forget what the original one was exactly, but keeping with that verb noun pairing, activate your quote now. We also added a couple of points here, just reasons to do business with Esurance, building trust, maybe things that they miss on the website. And we understated a little bit the call to action to go by phone, because we felt that it was being addressed in the main call to action. And at the bottom, we've got, again, links to other insurance types in case they wanted to quick link to those.
Brilliant. Thanks. Our next contender, Responsys. Julian, take it away.
Okay. Well, we made a couple assumptions on this one, that generally nobody's particularly excited about insurance. So an email about insurance is probably going to get a very cursory glance at most. So what we did was really emphasize the pre-header and put in some links there that if they even just looked a second, we could hopefully grab them in. So it's probably a little hard to see. How does this thing work?
It's an incredibly complex device.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
okay.
I had difficulty with that.
Creative directors are generally pretty useless. So, I am an example of that. So there's an engaging teaser statement with some personalization, then a series of what I would call quick links to get people immediately engaged. And the great thing about pre-header is if you use it and you put in a call to action with an engaging statement or some teaser, chances are about 10% of the time that's all people need, and they'll just jump and go. So if you're not doing it, that's the easiest win you can do, no matter who you are and what you're trying to do with your emails. But what we also added was, and as I said, it's kind of hard to see, is remind me later. That could be I can't do this right now, but I have to get insurance. Maybe send this exact same message with just an alternate framing of the content. So it's not an immediate no and it gets lost in the inbox forever. And then, why did I get this? And that was kind of based on the fact that maybe people don't remember why they got this. And versus saying unsubscribe right away, with emails, I always take the philosophy, you should pretend that email is a person talking to a potential customer. You would never walk in the store and a salesperson say, you know what, why don't you just go back out? You would say, let me show you something first, and then let me direct you somewhere else if that's the case. So that's what we did there. We tried to bring in some elements from the website, so like the quick tabs up front, in case they were interested in other insurance options. I felt the body of the email from the original was generally pretty good. It had all the right points, so we didn't do a lot there other than reorganize it slightly. But some of the big add-ons that we did was...
Like you're moving it with your hand, it's magic.
is down here. I'm a big believer that in a well-designed email that people kind of go into a coma almost. They'll just kind of read along. And if they're down here, my assumption is that they're still engaged for some reason, so let's give them some content that maybe helps validate your main point to add a little more benefits or reason to act now. So just just getting some content from the website, top reasons to go with Esurance, making sure there's always a call to action because chances are they're never going to scroll back up to look for it, so you want to make it easy. And then pulling in some of the other interesting content, noting that there's a fan club for Aaron in the sense that maybe getting them to the website to look at a commercial will ultimately lead to the conversion that you want. So there's more paths to the final destination versus just sign in now. And then we have a recovery bar here. And what I like to do with that is emphasize that they may have signed up already. You know, in the process of this email coming, maybe they called, they did something else. So having more of a customer-centric focus on other ways for them to engage with your brand is always a good backup. And then, as mentioned, verifying that this is a secure, authentic email and that that's a good process. And then finally, I always like to end with the brand or a tagline. If anything, end it on a good note so they keep your brand in mind, because by the time they scroll to the bottom,